21-year-old girl Prakriti Lamsal, a student from Nepal, came to India to pursue her B.Tech studies. During her time in India, she fell in love with Advik Srivastava, the son of a well-known politician from Lucknow. However, what started as love soon turned into a nightmare. Advik allegedly manipulated Prakriti into a relationship, developed physical relations with her, and even leaked some of her private moments online. He repeatedly blackmailed her and reportedly attempted to form inappropriate relationships with her cousin as well. The immense pressure from these events led Prakriti into severe distress. Overwhelmed, she struggled to cope with the situation. Tragically, on February 16th at 3 p.m., she was found hanging in her hostel room. Shockingly, before the investigation could even begin, the college authorities allegedly sent Advik back home. By the time the police arrived, crucial forensic evidence had already disappeared. On the day this evidence was being erased, most students were attending a live concert on campus. When students later started protesting, the college reportedly asked 500 Nepali students to vacate the hostel. This raised suspicions that something was being covered up. Authorities assured that any evidence related to the case, whether physical items from the room, digital devices, or paperwork, would be properly handed over. However, concerns were raised about the safety of other Nepali students on campus. A viral video also surfaced showing security guards forcefully removing Nepali students from the premises. This incident even caught the attention of Nepal's Prime Minister, who tweeted about the issue. The event unfolded during the university's annual fest, which started on February 14th, 2025, at Kiit University in Odisha. The festival, spanning 3 days, featured performances from well-known celebrities, keeping most students engaged. However, on the final day of the fest, Prakriti was discovered in her hostel room under tragic circumstances. Prakriti had come to India with dreams of higher education. However, she reportedly became trapped in a toxic relationship with Advik Srivastava, who allegedly subjected her to continuous harassment and abuse. This case raises serious questions about student safety and justice. As the night approached peacefully, Prakriti's voice in a recorded message revealed the deep fear and distress she was experiencing. She was crying, overwhelmed with fear, while Advik Srivastava, instead of consoling her, was yelling and subjecting her to further verbal abuse. Frustrated with the toxic relationship, Prakriti wanted to break up with Advik. However, he had other plans. During their time together, he had access to some of their private moments, and he used those photos to blackmail her. He manipulated her into staying in the relationship and tried to isolate her from her friends. It was all a calculated scheme, one that nobody realized until it was too late. Last year, he allegedly forced Prakriti into another physical relationship, threatening to leak private photos and videos if she refused. Being in a foreign country without family support, Prakriti felt trapped and had no one to confide in. Despite this, she gathered the courage to report the matter to her college's International Relations Office not once, but twice. However, the authorities failed to take the issue seriously. A similar complaint had been filed by another girl just weeks earlier, stating that a student was harassing and manipulating her. The college called both students in for a meeting, but instead of taking action, they dismissed it as a private matter and did nothing. Some believe that Advik's father's political influence played a role in this lack of action. Exhausted and overwhelmed, Prakriti fell into deep depression. She felt completely helpless, as if her life had come to an end. On February 16th, she wrote a 3-page note before taking the extreme step. While the incident was happening inside the girls' hostel of Incident College, the rest of the students were enjoying Badshah's concert at the annual fest. When the college authorities found out about Prakriti's body, instead of helping with the investigation, they tampered with the crime scene and started destroying evidence. Not only that, but they also informed Advik's family members over the phone about the incident. As soon as they heard the news, flight tickets for Advik were booked, and he attempted to flee the country. Thankfully, the police took Advik into custody right at the airport, as all the hostel residents had named him the prime suspect. Moreover, the college authorities decided to remove Prakriti's body from the hostel room within a short time, despite the forensic department being scheduled to examine it at 6 a.m. the next morning. The scientific team, along with photographers, was supposed to inspect the room, but it was sealed off. The actions taken by the college authorities were completely illegal. Not only that, but they also hid all digital evidence, including Prakriti's laptop and mobile phone. Right now, they stand in front of us, lying, changing their statements every second. When IIT students became aware of the situation, they realized that what was happening was completely illegal, and that justice would not be served this way. This led to massive student protests, turning the case into a national issue. However, the protesting students faced extreme suppression. Many were injured, some were beaten with batons, and there were reports of force being used against them. Several students were even arrested. In the girls' hostel, certain teachers allegedly made highly racist comments, particularly targeting Nepali students. Remarks were made suggesting that one man was feeding and educating 40,000 students for free, questioning whether their country even had such a budget. Right now, we are being told, pack your belongings and just leave. The response from the authorities was that the police would come, and we were specifically targeted with statements like, "You came here on a scholarship, you are here for free, and we have been feeding you all along." On short notice, we were forced out, without money, without tickets. We were put on buses and dropped off at the station, not even at the main entrance, but at the back. No student who paid their fees and got admission would have ever imagined hearing such things from a teacher. This all started after the body of a Nepali girl was found inside the girls' hostel of the same college. Soon after, the college authorities issued notices to all Nepali students to vacate the campus. Their only mistake was that they were demanding justice. Literally every Nepali student was forced out of the college campus. Many students suffered injuries. They were beaten with batons, kicked, and brutally assaulted. A Lathi charge, police baton charge, was carried out. But why? Why were Nepali students tortured and thrown out like this? Their families weren't here. They had no relatives nearby, and many didn't even have a place to stay. Several students were forced to spend the night at railway stations. We were thrown out of the hostel with nowhere to go, no confirmed train, and no money. We have been hungry since last night. We haven't even had food yet. We urgently need help. The hostel rooms where Nepali students lived were forcibly entered by college staff and professors. They dragged students out with violence, and they seemed happy about it. They even took selfies after doing this. Those who managed to record videos of the attacks had their phones snatched and were forced to delete the footage. They are still following us. Even at the railway station, they are chasing us, preventing us from leaving. We were literally kicked out onto the streets. We are watching. If you try to force us, we will record videos and send them to our country. Students who returned were made to fill out a form stating that they must follow the university rules and cannot participate in any indiscipline activities, meaning they were not allowed to protest or speak out. We were strictly warned not to make any statements, report anything, or comment on the issue. This is a clear attempt to silence our voices. Think about it. Students who came to India for education are India's responsibility, yet the Nepalese government had to intervene. Thankfully, this matter reached Nepal's Prime Minister, KP Sharma Oli, who tweeted about it. This issue even strained diplomatic relations between Nepal and India. Under pressure, the college authorities reluctantly allowed Nepali students to return. But after being forced out so abruptly, how were we supposed to come back? We were stranded halfway, with no way to return. It's as if they can throw us out whenever they want and call us back whenever they want. The investigation is still ongoing. It's uncertain whether the police will be able to recover all the evidence. Advik is still in police custody, but justice is yet to be served.